If you have been watching my videos for a while, you have probably noticed that I'm a big fan of Royal Caribbean's Oasis-Class ships. These massive sea giants are essentially floating cities, packed with incredible attractions, entertainment, experiences, and comforts of modern life. In truth, they are essentially destinations themselves. I don't know about you, but I never get tired of exploring the Oasis-class vessels. That said, I guess it won't be a surprise to you that I was extremely excited and couldn't wait to finally board the Symphony of the Seas for the first time. Especially since, at the time of embarkation, she was the only one of the 5 Oasis-class ships in service that I hadn't yet had the opportunity to travel on. The Symphony quickly became one of my favorite ships in the Oasis class, and I have so much to share with you about this incredible ship and all the ports we visit on board during this amazing Mediterranean voyage in upcoming videos. However, to get us started, in today's video, I will share all the details about what it was like traveling in a quite unusual balcony cabin that offered views that you don't usually expect to find on a cruise ship. As I just mentioned, the Oasis-class ships are very large, and because of the size, they have plenty of space to experiment and feature onboard areas that haven't been seen on any other ship classes. What includes cabins with views of the ship's interior instead of just the ocean. Although I was a little hesitant, I couldn't pass up the chance to stay in one of these cabins for the first time, even if it was just to share with you all the details of this unusual experience. So for this trip, instead of booking a traditional ocean view cabin, I spent 7 nights in a stateroom overlooking the ship's central park. A large outdoor garden with trees and lush plants, located in the center of the vessel. Did I like it? Would I recommend this cabin? In this video, I will show you the cabin details and share everything I've learned. Don't forget to watch until the end of the video for my full report. And before we start, if you haven't done so yet, take a second to subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss any of my latest tips, curiosities and reviews. Between us, the channel already has several videos about cruises and destinations available, but I have many more on the way in the upcoming weeks. Stay tuned. But now, come with me. It's time to check out Stateroom 10189, an interior balcony cabin with central park views. Shall we go? Hello cruise mates, welcome to Cruising the World. I'm Horton Novak, and in this channel we talk about everything related to cruises and travel. In today's video, we will explore the Stateroom 10189, an inside balcony cabin overlooking Central Park on the beautiful Symphony of the Seas. Stay tuned until the end of the video for my personal thoughts and tips about my experience, including the pros and cons of traveling in a cabin in this category. However, before you visit the cabin, I have a tip I think you'll like that might help you save some money on future trips. But I need to share a quick story about how I finally booked this cabin without spending a fortune. As I mentioned before, staying in a cabin with an inside balcony was a novelty for me. Normally, if I could choose, I would prefer a cabin with a balcony overlooking the sea. But despite this, deep down, I was always very curious to find out what it would be like to travel in one of these cabins with an inside view of the ship. However, I never compare the price differences. Although cabins with inside balconies are usually a little bit cheaper, it was never an amount that would make me give up an ocean view. But since this trip aboard the Symphony of the Seas took place in the middle of a long voyage, where I spent 6 months exploring Europe by air, land and sea, I really need to save some money and booked an inside cabin with no views or windows, which was much more affordable for the sailing on board the Symphony of the Seas. However, about a month before the trip, I received an email inviting me to join a cabin auction where passengers can bid on cabin upgrades, offering an extra amount that is only charged if the bid wins, for a chance to travel in a higher category cabin than the one originally booked. And I thought to myself, what do I have to lose? Maybe this could be a great opportunity to travel in a type of cabin I never had the chance to experience before. I ended up bidding the minimum amount on certain types of cabins, but to be honest, I didn't really expect that the low bid amount would give me a real shot at any upgrade. To my surprise though, a few days before departure, I was told that I would be staying in an interior view Central Park balcony cabin during this voyage, and best of all, it wouldn't cost me much more than I have paid for my original inside cabin. So cruise mate, although it's not guaranteed, I think it's worth trying your luck in these auctions if they are available on the company's website or if you get an email from the cruise line before your trip. You might get the chance to stay in a cabin you normally wouldn't consider, often because of the higher price. And might end up traveling in style for a bargain. That said, welcome to cabin 10-189 on deck 10 of the beautiful Symphony of the Seas. Let's start our tour here. As soon as we enter through the front door, right behind it, you'll see the usual safety information, including your assembly station number and location. It also explains how to wear the life jacket and provides the emergency tones guide. There is also this sleeping off the adventure magnet that you can place outside your door if you don't want to be disturbed. Just note, advise guests not to open the front door if the balcony door is open. For this ship, passengers must still insert the cruise cards into the slot by the door to activate the lights and air conditioning in the cabin. If you have sailed on other, more recent Oasis or Quantum class ships, you might have noticed that this cabin has a similar layout and feel to those more modern cabins. Most have this type of sofa that can be converted into a bed. On this side, there is a large wardrobe with plenty of space and hangers. You can hang jackets, shirts and dresses here, and place pants on the lower part. Or even use this space to store your suitcase if you prefer. The cabin looks very modern. On this side, we have another wardrobe with extra hanging space and some shelves. In this one, you'll find the cabin safe, which by the way isn't very large on the ship, but it can still fit a tablet, for example. Down here, you'll find a few drawers. In this area, they have a table, and on this side, a chest of drawers. This drawer comes with some tissue paper. In this one, they keep the cabin's head dryer. Down here, they have a small fridge, which works more like a cooler than a real refrigerator, to be honest. In this area, there is a table that can double as either a dresser or a workstation. Here, under this small shelf, there are some power outlets, 3 American plugs, 1 European, and 2 USB Type-A ports. While the ship's cabins don't offer USB Type-C ports, the number of outlets and USB ports is quite reasonable, especially compared to some older ships that don't even offer options with standard USB ports. Here's the bed. Again, it's a Royal Caribbean standard layout that can be converted into 2 single beds or a queen-size bed. The headboard and wall decoration are modern and quite pretty. The TV is large and positioned at the foot of the bed, what is very practical and can be very comfy. It is possible to move the screen for viewing for the sofa or even the bathroom. And here, the biggest difference if compared to other standard balcony cabins. And what a difference in vibe! The balcony in this cabin opens onto the beautiful Central Park surroundings, an outdoor green oasis in the middle of the ship that features gardens filled with flowers, exotic plants, and even full-grown trees. Central Park was once exclusive to Oasis-Class ships. However, it has also become a popular feature on Royal Caribbean's new Icon-class ships. It's almost surreal to see so many plants in an open-air garden on a cruise ship. It feels more like I am in a Mediterranean villa or resort, surrounded by lush gardens that merge with cafes, shops, and restaurants. And I haven't even mentioned that I have neighbors right across from my cabin. Notes to myself: don't forget to close the curtains when you go for your shower. We can't see very well now because of the reflection, but through this glass structure, I can even catch a glimpse of the Royal Promenade on decks 5 and 6. I can imagine this balcony will be a great spot to sit, read a book, or edit videos during this voyage. A quick note here: I recorded this video on my first day on board, but I will share my final thoughts about spending 7 nights in this balcony cabin at the end of the video. Stay tuned. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It really helps our channel grow, inspires me to make more videos like this one for you every week. The space outside here is quite nice. They have the traditional 2 chairs and a table, and it might be very comfortable and relaxing to spend some time here. But let's get back inside. A view from the cabin from this angle. And of course, this door leads to the bathroom. Let's check it out. Again, a very standard bathroom setup on a more modern Royal Caribbean ship. It's not a large bathroom, but it's quite spacious. In the sink area, there are shelves and loads of space for personal products. And here, the shower features that glass enclosure cubicle that I love. No pesky stick plastic curtains on this ship. I love how spacious those are. This is a standard shower setup for Royal Caribbean's newer ships, with the shower head that can be handheld. Nowadays, they only offer this dispenser with a liquid soap that doubles as a shampoo. As you can see, plenty of space here. Well, perhaps don't forget you have neighbors facing your cabin. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in planning your next voyage. As I promised at the beginning of this video, here's a quick summary of my experience traveling on this cabin. Since I was used to traveling in ocean view balcony cabins, I wasn't sure if this cabin was for me, and to be honest, I thought I would hate it. But to my surprise, that wasn't the case. The stateroom itself was very comfortable, spacious and modern, and aside from its location and unusual views, it was exactly what a passenger would expect to find in a cabin on any of Royal Caribbean's newer ships. A plus for me is that the cabin offers plenty of storage spaces, and was already equipped with more modern amenities like USB ports, which have become essential for any traveler these days, especially for those like me who bring several electronics on their trips. But now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, in this cabin. Its balcony internal views of the ship. There are pros and cons I want to share. They weren't deal breakers for me, but they might be for you. First of all, I have to say that, despite not expecting it, I ended up really liking the view and location of this cabin. Although it was different, staying in this cabin turned out to be a great experience. I often found myself sitting on the balcony with a cup of coffee, editing videos or reading posts and messages on social media, while enjoying the sun and the relaxing sounds from the gardens below. My first pro was that even when traveling alone, it was nice to feel connected to other passengers and experience the ship's vibe without even leaving my cabin, since I could hear music and conversation coming from other cabins, the pool deck, and Central Park. Most of the time, the sounds weren't loud enough to be disruptive, plus the park atmosphere was quite calm and relaxing, likely due to the sounds of birds and insects that filled the area. Even though it was pre-recorded, these small nature sounds often made me feel like I was in some secret idyllic garden on dry land. One really cool thing was going back to the cabin at night and being serenaded by live music from guitars, violins, or singers drifting in from the park as soon as I opened the balcony doors. It was great to sit on the balcony, relax with the music, and enjoy the lights of Central Park before going to bed. Those were some of the pros of an internal view balcony cabin to me. That said, one thing that can make a big difference compared to a cabin with an ocean view is definitely having neighbors facing directly towards your cabin. For that matter, they could be sitting outside all day, watching life pass by, or you, if they want to. Or even worse, you might end up seeing things you'd rather not see. For that reason, if you're the type of person who values your privacy and wouldn't want to keep your curtains closed all the time, I wouldn't recommend this cabin to you. I must admit, it was a bit frustrating to remember to close the curtains every time when I was changing clothes or heading to the shower, to avoid any awkward situations. After all, it wasn't a Halloween cruise and I didn't want to get anyone spooked. Some of you asked if the cabin was noisy, and honestly, it could be at certain times of the day. However, to my surprise, the culprit wasn't usually the Central Park neighborhood, where although it was common to hear people talking as they passed by or enjoying one of the restaurants in the area, it maintained a calmer and more relaxed atmosphere, with soothing music and the sounds of birds and insects filling the space, which was actually quite calming and inviting at the same time. Most loud noises that might disturb a passenger in these cabins usually happen during sports or kids competition or a part upstairs on the pool deck, blasting loud music. That said, you would only hear the noise if the balcony door was open, otherwise it wouldn't really disturb anyone's peace. Another thing to keep in mind is that although the cabin provides a few power outlets and USB ports for charging devices at the desk area, it only has one power outlet by the bed, and it doesn't offer USB facilities. This can be quite frustrating for some, especially if you're not traveling alone, since only one person can easily access it at night to charge a phone or smartwatch. Because of situations like this, I always bring one of these cruise-safe cube adapters with me and highly recommend that you do the same, as it can be used to power a device on board cruise ships and in most countries they visit. This one is awesome. You can see it has these sliders here in the side. I don't know if you can see that properly because but these sliders these sliders you can put out the plugs for different countries. So yeah, have like 4 countries in here, so you can use in different places. It's very cool. On the top here they have you can plug different plugs from different countries as well. It's very cool. And of course in this side here they have, this one has 4 USB-A, but you can get some of them that some models they come with USB-C as well. So they are very practical, and look the size. It is very small. It features multiple USB charging ports to power all devices at once. If like me, you travel with many cameras and gadgets, this cube is a must-have. I'll include a link to this product and other cruise and travel essentials that I always use on my voyages and highly recommend in the description of this video. By the way, I might earn a small commission if you buy any of these items at no extra cost to you. Thanks in advance for your support, as it really helps me keep the channel going. I think that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, comments, or extra tips for our cruise and travel community, please leave a message in the comments below, on our blog, or any of our social media platforms. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you are looking for more cruise and travel tips or inspiration, I think you enjoyed these videos on the screen. Have a great day. See you in the next video.